every Saturday. Local chefs create savory and artistic dishes for you to enjoy making in your own home. So add a new recipe to your collection that is sure to be a family favorite here at Scenic Vantage Point.
Welcome back to What's Cooking at the Market. I'm your host, Steve Schroet from Port Huron Hospital, with my special guest, Rock Stevens, owner of the Atrium Cafe and Ice Cream Parlor. And Rock, in our first segment, you made this wonderful black bean salad, and then we put it in with some chicken and made a nice Southwest chicken wrap.
Yes.
And our live audience here today had an opportunity to sample that, and they thoroughly enjoyed it. What are we going to do the second segment here?
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to have some more fun. And the item that we're going to present is going to be, we're going to take the same basic item that we started with, the black bean salad, and we're going to add pasta to it, and we're going to create a Southwest pasta salad. Now, with the Southwest pasta salad, that can become a main dish, or again, it can become another side dish. But more and more, you'll see people using that as a main dish. So we're going to evolve, and we think of it as kind of a variation of a theme. And that's kind of what you want to learn to do. This doesn't have to be hard. You're using the exact same ingredients, and we're going to add some pasta and maybe a couple other things with it that we didn't add in our first dish, but it's very simplistic. And again, you'll recall from our first segment that my thought is that if I can do it, by God, anybody can do it.
Even I can do it.
I would hope so. And well, no, you don't want to go yet. You want to see this, and you want to taste this. So the bottom line is, as you recall, we have the yummy black bean pasta salad here.
And it still smells great.
Yes, it does. And one of the things that I wanted to mention to you, and we talked about the farmer's market, I would certainly encourage as many of you as possible, you want to go down and sample their wares. And obviously, we've got sweet Michigan corn that is just delightful. Now, I was talking about, getting a full can of kernel corn. That's one option. You can go to your local grocery store and get that. Another, you can, right here at the farmer's market, get some delicious sweet corn.
Which may have been picked this morning.
There you go.
It's just that fresh.
And you're just going to take a knife and you're just going to shave off the kernels, okay?
And
no
just to
big
let
deal.
you know, the farmer's market is open every Tuesday and Saturday from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. And again, local farmers, local produce, as I walked through it this morning, fresh fruit, vegetables, farm fresh eggs, honey, baked goods, you name it. It's a great experience down here. Bring the family, and what a gorgeous day here on the St. Clair River.
We're loving it.
We are loving it.
And again, I mentioned earlier that I'm down here twice a week, and you just can't beat it. You want fresh produce. So once you cut off the fresh kernel, you can just maybe kind of make sure that you break that all apart and add that to your dish. And I don't know about the rest of you, but I can't imagine better corn than Michigan sweet corn. I can make a meal out of this stuff. It's just so delightful.
It is the best. Yes.
So we're starting with that same dish, the black bean pasta, and again, it's got corn in it, as we just saw. We're going to start with that, and we have some new ingredients. Now we're going to add, basically, and again, I'm looking at my recipe here, we're going to be adding 1 box of cooked penny pasta, and I have a portion right here. I'm going to dump that right in there.
And Rock, when we're looking at heart healthy, I mean, you could add like a wheat pasta to it, so you get, the added nutrients and the bran, the grain, the fiber, right, from the wheat. And again, staying on the heart healthy track.
And again, that's the bottom line. You want to meet your needs, meet your family's needs, be as creative as you can, experiment. Don't always do it the same way. Again, experimentation is the mother of invention. Let's invent something new. Yeah. Now, we're also going to add some tomatoes this time. We did not do that with our first dish. And we've got like the cherry tomatoes, and we've sliced those in half. We're going to add that. And the bottom line, depending upon how much your family is a fan of tomatoes, is going to determine how much you're going to put in. So that's certainly going to be left up to yourself.
Rock, as you work on that, sorry to interrupt, I really want to talk, again, get some of the information about the Atrium Cafe and Ice Cream Parlor in here, about the decor and all the work that you put into it, and making it what it is today.
All right. I would suggest to you that we have many of our guests coming in that will congratulate us on all the phenomenal workmanship that we did. Mm-hmm. And I thank them for that feedback, but I'll suggest to them that I felt like I was cutting and pasting. The real craftsmen were 130 years ago. And we used all salvage material throughout the restaurant. When we built the interior of the restaurant, I didn't have to buy any wood at all. The 4 homes that were in front of Port Huron Hospital, the old captain's houses, when they came down, we had permission to get in and salvage whatever we needed, and we did. We had an overabundance of material to work with, and some of the pieces are just phenomenal. We have 2 huge, like niches, mirrored niches that came from the bank in the entryway of the city of Chicago. And these things are like probably 160 years old, and they kind of dominate when you walk in. There's stained glass, there's bevel glass, there's wrought iron doors. The place just reeks of history. And it was our goal to make our restaurant personify Port Huron of old. And so we have surrounded the perimeter of the restaurant with postcards, photos, mementos from old Port Huron. And as a teacher, I realized that so many of my students today, they have no idea of the way Port Huron used to look. That's just gone. They can't relate to it. So we decided, it is our mission, when people walk in our restaurant, whether they're tourists, whether they're homegrown, we want people to get in touch with Port Huron back in the late 1800s. So the main dining room is high Victorian, late 1800s, and then you leave that room and you go into the Art Deco atrium room that's pretty much all glass, skylights, and you sit in theater seats from 1929, Art Deco theater seats as you're having your meals. We have the opportunity the second Thursday of every month to show silent movies in there, and we have a silent movie dinner theater. And like this past Thursday, I had to turn away another 18 people that wanted to show up because we had a packed house. We just couldn't accommodate everybody. It's becoming very entertaining for people. They're enjoying the experience.
And if you go there, you can understand why. And now the next ingredient?
Okay, the next ingredient, and there's not a lot of it here because we already had some earlier, but we have, what are those real hot things that people like?
I think it's those jalapeno peppers.
That's what it is. Yeah. We have diced up some jalapenos, and based upon your personal preference, it's going to determine how much you want to add, but I'm going to add some of that in here. Okay, we'll make sure we get that out. And again, then we want to thoroughly mix this up.
And while you're doing that, I just want to tell our audience that if you Google the Atrium Cafe and Ice Cream Parlor, you'll see a number of websites there, but the Blue Water Area Convention and Visitor Center has a link on their website. It has a virtual tour of the cafe, and you can see all of the Victorian fixtures in there and so forth.
Yes. I want to share with you, it's a teacher thing, but the Greek philosopher Socrates once said that one should eat to live and not live to eat. Now that sounds pretty healthy sounding, but the bottom line is, if you talk to most Americans and probably most people around the world, one of their most consistent pleasures of every day of their life is a good meal. And the bottom line is, it does give us pleasure. It's something we look forward to. That whole marriage thing, dating thing, wining and dining, okay? We embellish our loved ones with the opportunity to go out and dine. And folks, when folks come into our restaurant, I'll engage them in conversation, and I'll suggest to them, this is not a fast food restaurant. If you're looking to get some really good food in maybe the next 12 minutes, you should probably go to a fast food restaurant. We have customers that come into our restaurant and literally, they'll have their meal and 3 hours later, they're still sitting there.
You know, I noticed that this week when I came in and had lunch, and I was thinking, there have been people they've been in here a lot longer than I have, and they didn't look like they were going anywhere.
Yeah. And and when I'll, even if we're having a delay in the kitchen, I'll suggest to them there might be a delay for whatever reason. I say, it doesn't matter. We're having a good time. We're enjoying the company. We're enjoying the ambience. And the bottom line is food is not just about the gut. It's about the mind. It's about the psyche. You want to embellish the moment. You want to have an experience. And so when you pick a place to go out and dine, whether it's by yourself or with other people, you want to appreciate everything that's there. You want to savor every morsel that you have if it's good food. Well, so it is with the ambience of a room. You want to look around. You want to get up and wander around. You want to see everything that is at the Atrium Cafe. And we have 3 distinct environments that you can explore. The ice cream parlor at the back, the main dining, the 1890s Victorian, or the 1920s Art Deco room. The new thing that we're doing is building a Victorian-style gazebo out in the gardens. And we were just informed by the city that our gardens have now been designated the Business Garden of the Year. So
Fantastic.
as a novice gardener, I'm just amazed how fast it's growing. I'm convinced that the 500 bulbs I put in the ground, half of them I put in upside down. Doesn't seem to matter.
Rock is
Took a
very
little
busy
longer.
at the restaurant. No question about that. Rock,
Okay.
what would our next steps be here?
Okay, what's going to happen is we have the pasta, Southwest pasta salad that we'd like to share with you. And as we take another break, we'll set this up over here on the table over here. And these are going to be in little cups. You'll recall the first time you had the wraps. Okay, hopefully you found those delightful and they met your taste buds. Now we're going to have, in cups, we're going to have a Southwest pasta salad that you're going to explore.
Wonderful.
And we'll have that set up on the table over here as we take a break.
We're going to end up with a whole meal.
I hope so.
Yeah,
That's the idea.
That's great.
Well, thank you all so much for joining us today. We certainly appreciate your willingness to be here and putting up with this, I think, the world's greatest novice as a chef. And when they refer to me as Chef Zell, I'm thinking, you talking to me? Thank you all, folks.
And again, the theme being, if you can do it, anybody can do it.
Anybody can do it.
Yeah. Rock, thank you so much
And
for
thank you,
joining us
Steve.
today.
Appreciate
and I
it.
really want to thank your lovely wife, Gail, for allowing you to come down here today. Coming away. I'm sure she's going to put you to work when you go back.
Yes.
But Gail, thank you, and thank you for those wonderful recipes.
Thank you, sweetie.
There you go.
Mwah.
The recipes are available at www.porthuronhospital.org or at www.downtownporthuron.org. So you want to be able to check those things out. This program is going to air on Channel 6 this coming week, and it's also going to be on YouTube. And you can get to the YouTube link by going to the Port Huron Hospital website. So we make it very easy for you, and you can also see previous episodes of What's Cooking at the Market. Next week, you won't want to miss this. The host will be Sarah Tate, our major gift specialist at the hospital, and she will be here with Chef Nick from the Cavus Grill, and they're going to present a couple Greek dishes. They're going to prepare hummus and moussaka, so you will not want to miss that. So until next week, be healthy, and we'll see you right here at What's Cooking at the Market. Thank you.
And right over here is Amber Woods, one of our wait staff members. Thank you, Amber.
Rock, thank you so much. This is fantastic. This is great.
Okay, you need to get your kids to eat more fruit. What a better way to do it than make it a little bit more fun and put it on a stick. So take your favorite fruit, cut it up, put it on a skewer. You can add a little bit of cheese on the end if you want to mix it up, but it'll maybe get them to eat their fruit a little bit more, having a little more fun. You can even cut it into shapes and just make it a little more interesting, and they'll be more likely to eat fruit. For more recipes, go to porthuronhospital.org/recipes.